Great evening to the Empire of Diamonds. We are EOD, EOD, EOD. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to be having this opportunity to share with you guys on how to have proper business etiquette. I think it's so very important because we are all about to embark on something big as we get ready to start with the launch of this new company. There's going to be plenty, and I mean plenty, of opportunities for us to be hosting meetings or gatherings or focus groups or whatever you guys want to call it. You definitely want to get ready because you want to be able to have your meetings or your gatherings. You want to be able to have some type of order to them. You want to be able to have some etiquette and all. You want to also be able to be informative during your meeting, and you want to have a good time. It's really important, right, that we're all having a good time while we're getting the information that we need. And so it's very key that, one, you make sure that you are organized in planning this meeting. Take your time to plan it well, okay? You know where you're going to have it. You know what day of the week you're going to have it, because sometimes, guys, that plays a part. A lot of people don't think, that certain days of the week do, but it really is crucial because you have to maybe consider in the fact of maybe, your guest having children or working during the week or, Bible study, all those type of things play a part. So you definitely want to consider the day of the week that you're going to have your meeting and also the time. You want to make sure that you're doing it at a very, decent hour of the day, depending on what day you're doing it. You don't want anything that's way too early where where people may not be able to attend, but then you also don't want anything way too late in the day or in the evening, because you definitely want to respect the time of the member of the people who you invite out. So you definitely want to make sure that you consider that and keep that in mind when you are scheduling and planning out your meetings. Okay, so after now that you've now planned it, make sure that while you're planning it, you're also keeping in mind of how many people you're expecting to have, to make sure that wherever the venue is that you're having it, whether it be in a business center or even in the comfort of your home or your living room, you definitely want to make sure that you can try your best to accommodate the number of people that you'll have attending your meeting. That's very, very, very important. Okay. Once you get that done, you pretty much, make sure you send out your invites in a timely fashion. You don't necessarily want to do anything at the last minute, like telling people the day before or anything like that. You want to make sure that you're giving your invites an ample amount of time. It's very important. You definitely want to make them feel like you are considering their needs and their time even before the meeting starts. It's very crucial. So definitely make sure that you give people ample amount of time to know when and where and how long and roughly how long your event will last or your meeting will last. When that meeting day comes, you definitely want to make sure that you or your teammates or whoever else is involved with you planning this meeting, you definitely want to make sure that you guys are there at least 30 minutes before your start time. So if I have a meeting at 7:30, you want to make sure that you're there, or I want to make sure that I'm there with my team or with my partners at 7 o'clock. Okay. Typically for me, I try to at least go an hour, and that's because, one, I'm just want to make sure that everything is in place. You definitely do not want to be, still ripping and running and getting last minute items or things that you'll need for your meeting as your guests are showing up. You want to remain professional at all times. And so I definitely suggest 30 minutes, but if you're anything like me, I give myself an hour. So that way I can double check to make sure that I have all the materials that I'm going to need or that my guests are going to need, and that they're already available and set up. And if I'm doing any, depending on the type of meeting I'm having, if I'm doing any light refreshments or, maybe tea or water or coffee, or, I definitely want to make sure that that's already set up and in place and ready to go for when my guests arrive. Okay. And so, of course, You want to make sure that after you got everything in place, setting the atmosphere is super crucial. That sets the tone for the flow of your meeting. It sets the vibe. It sets the atmosphere so that when your guests are walking in, they're already kind of picking up on what type of meeting you're going to have. And so I would like to suggest that maybe you have light casual music playing, something very light, not anything that you want to that you'll hear at the club or anything like that, but just something that's very inviting. For me, I am very high energy, and that's typically the nature in which I like my meetings to flow. I like a lot of high energy, so I'm playing something that's a little bit more upbeat, that's a little bit more lively. So when the guests are coming, they are already kind of like feeling the nature of how this meeting is, and it kind of plays on their psyche, guys. Believe it or not, studies show that how you set the tone of the type of music that you're playing already kind of gets your guest in a particular mindset. If you're playing upbeat music, they're feeling upbeat and they're more eager and more open to listening and to receiving the information that you're going to share. If you're playing something that's a little bit more slower, that is a little bit more relaxed, then you may get a different reaction from your crowd. So gauge how you want your meeting to flow, gauge the type of energy that you want throughout your meeting, and then play music that is in alignment with the flow. Okay, so that's one of the things that I would suggest. When your guests arrive, greet them with a smile. Guys, a smile goes a long way. Sometimes it's just the way that you greet people as they're entering your event that will determine whether they work with you or whether they turn around and leave or whether they begin watching their watches, saying, hey man, I wonder what time this is going to be over. You don't want them already ready to go before the meeting even starts. So make sure that you're pleasant. Make sure that you have a smile on your face. Make sure that your energy is high. Okay. And then from there, once the meeting starts, you start on time. That's big. You start on time. And then when that meeting has started, you put your attention and your focus into your meeting, into presenting your information, and you put your attention into your guest. It's very crucial. You definitely have to give honor to those who came to your meeting on time and who came out to listen to what you had to say. You give them that respect and you give them the honor. Do not, and I repeat, do not, when it's time for your meeting to start, be looking for members or be looking for guests that haven't shown up. You're either outside taking calls or you're texting on your phone. Hey, where are you? No, it's disrespectful to those who showed up on time, and you want to remain professional. So you want to make sure that when you start on time and that you give your undivided attention and energy into your meeting and into your guest. And then after that, keep it simple. Keep your meetings informational. Get straight to the point. You don't want to drag out anything too, because then you now begin to lose your audience. So once your meeting starts, you definitely want to keep it simple, keep it informative, and also keep that energy going and keep it fun. And if you're going to end, if you already know that you have a set time frame in which you want your meeting to end, make sure you're in control of your meeting and the flow of your meeting, and make sure that you're finishing on time. You don't want to drag and keep your members there, all night long. If you've designated 2 hours for your meeting, make sure that your meeting is done within the 2 hours, and that you allot for everything that you want or that you have scheduled to have take place in your meeting, that you have that happen within the time that you allotted for it. And so, guys, don't be afraid to get creative with your meetings. You don't necessarily have to do the typical come in, everybody sit down, listen to me talk, ask your questions at the end and leave menu. No, get creative with your get creative with your meetings. Get creative, get interactive, get your guest involved and see which way that'll turn out to, guys. So this is your opportunity to be thinking outside of the box. This is your opportunity to really, let your members see what you're about in these meetings. And so I just hope that this information that I have provided in this video helps you guys to really get your meetings going, to make it high energy, and to pack out your house, and to also keep them coming back. And you definitely want to make sure that whatever meeting that you're having, that you're leaving a lasting impression, that they leave being informed, but also feeling like, oh my goodness, I want to come back and meet with you again. I want to come back, and this time I want to bring people. So definitely keep all those things in mind. Good luck, EOD, EOD, EOD. I'm so happy to be working with you guys, and I definitely want to see what you guys come up with real soon. Take care, and thank you.